So now we're going to take a look at some angles and try and classify them, and then also take a look at some angles that are missing the degree measurements and see if we can't fill them in based on the picture. So we're going to use the notes that we just took on angle relationships and vocabulary and now apply it. So number one, we want to name this relationship, and they've given us a couple choices. Complementary, which we said add up to 90 degrees. Supplementary, they add up to 180 degrees. Vertical, okay, those are equal to each other. Those are the ones that are across. So in the picture, you're going to see an X, and they're going to be on opposite sides. And then adjacent is a new one. Okay, we didn't have that on the other side with the vocabulary. This just means that they're next to each other. It means they're touching. And here's the important things. They share a side, like a line. And they also have the same vertex. So when it says same vertex, that's talking about the point that all of these angles are meeting. So the actual point of intersection, that's the vertex. So to be adjacent, they have to be next to each other, share a line, okay, angle A and angle B. They both use this line as part of their angle, and they share a vertex. So these two right here, we can already label as adjacent. If you come over to these two, angle B and angle A, that space between the lines, those are the angles. They both use this line. They both have this vertex. They're touching. These are adjacent. If you come over to number one, angle B is this space, angle A is this space. Both angles are formed by this line. They have the same vertex, the same point where the two lines meet. These are also adjacent. You know, when you come to number three, a lot of people go, oh, look, they touch, so they're adjacent. But they're not. So one thing that they do share is a vertex. They both have this same point where their lines meet. But these are not adjacent because they only touch at that point. They're not actually next to each other. Angle B is made up of this line, and angle A is made up of this line and this line. So they don't share a line. Okay, they only share a vertex. So these are not adjacent. So out of these four, three of them are actually adjacent. Now they also have some other names. Okay, so they can be more than one of these. So when we look at number one, we know that this is half of a circle. These two angles together form a straight line. So there's another name that's not even listed here. We can write it. These are a linear pair. They're forming a straight line. But the name that we're looking to choose here is supplementary. These two add up to 180 degrees because they form a straight line, half of a circle. These two, they're adjacent, but they also are more specific than that. This box tells you that this big angle is 90 degrees. These two angles make up that bigger angle, so these are complementary. Number three, we said they're not adjacent. These are opposite each other. If you folded this over this line, they would be right on top of each other and equal. These are your verticals. And number four, they do not form a straight line together. They're short of it. They'd need all this extra space here to be linear. So they're not supplementary, and they're bigger than a 90. Okay, 90 would be in here somewhere. Okay, so they are not complementary or supplementary or vertical. These are just adjacent. That's it. Together, these are probably like 130 degrees because 180 would be all the way to here. 90 would be in here somewhere. So they're bigger than 90 or less than 180. If you took away this middle part, that one big angle is obtuse. It's between 90 and 180. So together, they're nothing special except adjacent because they're touching. So down to number five. If I extended this line, okay, all of this together is half of a circle. So that's 180 degrees. This side also has 180 degrees, forming a full 360 circle. Now this part in here, they've already labeled as 90 degrees. So if this whole thing's 180 on this side and 90 is already taken off, then that means we're allowed to assume that this is also 90 degrees. Because 90 and 90 is 180. So if these two angles together, the 46 and the missing one, letter B, add up to 90, all I have to do is 90 minus 46 to see what I'm missing. That's going to be angle B. So if I do 90 minus 46, angle B is 44 degrees, because this 44 and the 46 together are 90. Number 6, these two angles here form half a circle, with the vertex being the center of that. So this out here is 109 degrees. It's bigger than 90. This is less than 90. And together, since they form half a circle, they're supplementary, they're a linear pair. If I want to find the missing angle, I'm just going to take 180 and knock off this 109. And what I'm left with is 71 degrees. So this angle in here is 71. Together they add up to 180. Let's come back to number 7. Number 8, two lines intersecting. Remember, these are not adjacent because they don't share a line, but they're opposite each other, which makes them equal. So if this is 70, so is this. That's it. When you see verticals, they're nice and easy. They're equal. All right, let's come back to number 7 now. This is a full circle, okay, if we included all of this. So all of this space out here, this part, is 237 degrees. So if I completed this circle, you can see we've got most of a circle here. That's 237. If I completed it, it's 360. Well, this piece right here is given to me. It's 67. So all I'm missing of the circle is this in here. So all of this is 360. I've got a big piece that's 237. I've got a littler piece that's 67. And I'm just missing this one to complete the circle and complete 360. So if I just take 360 and I subtract the 237, and I also subtract the 67, what I'm left with is my missing piece, because all together this has to be 360. So B equals 56 degrees. All right, real quick, I want you to try 9 and 10 and see what you can come up with. So if you're not ready yet, go ahead and pause the video before I run through this. Keep working and then play it. But when I look at number 9, I notice that I've got one big angle and I've got two smaller angles that cut that big angle into two pieces. That big angle, because of this box, I know is 90 degrees. So all of this together is 90. This little piece here, this space is 42 degrees. And so this, if I added it to 42, would get me 90. So just working backwards, 90 minus 42 is going to give me letter B, which is 48 degrees. So this in here is 48. These two together have to give me 90. Number 10, similar but slightly different. Here's my vertex of both angles. Angle B is this space. The 110 is this space. The other side forms the rest of a circle. All together we've got 360. So out here I've got 180 degrees, which means all of this is 180 degrees. But this part of the puzzle is 110. So what I'm missing is the other part to make 180. So if I just take 180 minus 110, my missing piece is 70 degrees. And that's it.